thanks for joining us at very short notice. It has been a busy evening and day for you, I'm sure. The government statement this evening would begin with that. The battery storage system worked as designed. Surely if the end result is Gibraltar losing power, something has gone wrong.
Absolutely. So because of the interruption in the gas supply, what has happened is that two engines were running on gas. The two engines were at 10 megawatts each. They both failed. The battery energy storage system is meant to go up to 14 kilowatts. So when the failure happened in the energy, it tried to pick up and it couldn't. Therefore, the whole system failed. And that is the reason. I'm not here tonight to give excuses. I am as annoyed as everyone else in Gibraltar is over the power outage. And I am here to show face, as it were, as one says in Spanish.
As I said, we have the statement from PX Group this afternoon. This afternoon's power failure in Gibraltar arose from an apparent failure of equipment which controls the supply of liquid natural gas. So on a technical basis, most people aren't going to understand this. It's a different mechanism to the battery storage system, as you're describing. But surely, is there not some holistic approach that, we need to look at what might happen, what might go wrong, and how can you anticipate? Is this not something you might have anticipated?
So, as you're aware, there are backups to the backup to the backup. So we have numerous systems in place in order to try and ensure that there is minimal interruption to the power supply in Gibraltar. What has happened is that the entire, so we have the LNG supply, which comes directly to the power station, which is how power is supplied to Gibraltar normally. It's supplied by either LNG or by diesel. We have both types of engine. And what happened this afternoon is that there was a failure in the LNG. So obviously we will be asking a lot of questions of PX, as we have done in the past of every reason that there has been of when there is a power cut. Again, I'm not here to give excuses. I'm here to assure the general public that we will be asking those questions.
As mentioned previously, the KPMG Summit began today to bring together operators, CEOs, regulators and other representatives from the gaming sector. The intention is to showcase Gibraltar as a viable option to come and do business. The timing of this is somewhat embarrassing in that respect.
Absolutely. As I said, we are here to, we are trying, pursuant to the treaty, pursuant to the rules that we're trying to implement, to attract business to Gibraltar. So again, this is unacceptable and we will be asking all the relevant questions. To put this in context, Ian, there is nobody in Gibraltar that is currently more disheartened by this power cut than I am. It is extremely stressful when there is a power cut in Gibraltar. So, again, I am not here to give excuses, but to assure the general public that every time this happens, we put more steps in place to try and ensure that this doesn't happen again.
There are probably a few upset football fans around the place as well. Not to hammer the point home, but again, it is the World Cup opening match. The countdown is on. I'm not sure where in Gibraltar currently has the power restored. And a tough pill for the restaurant sector to swallow as well. Lots and lots of bookings, potentially one of the busiest nights of the evening. Anecdotally, we have heard a lot of people have been making the move across to La Línea for dinner and drinks. Same message to them, I assume that it's something...
Same message. Power is being restored at the moment, so we're hoping that for the kick-off match at 9 o'clock, power will be restored across Gibraltar. I don't want to give any assurances, but power is currently being restored by the GEA. One thing I would say, Ian, is that I have been down at the power station since it's happened, and the staff at the GEA have been working non-stop to try and restore power. I want to say thank you very much to the staff at the GEA, to the management of the GEA, and to everybody that was involved in trying to restore power, because they have been working flat out since this happened.
And again, I've been trying to count them just before we come on. It is not generalised power cuts, but there have been 7, 8, 9, 10 power outages around Gibraltar in 2026. We keep hearing this isn't going to happen again. It keeps happening again. What assurances can you give, or can you give assurances, or is it something we need to get used to?
Maybe I should learn not to give assurances. We try. So at every single instance where there has been a power cut, we have taken all the steps possible to try and make sure it doesn't happen again. We have introduced fines, severe fines, so that if a contractor does go through a cable, those fines will be levied. We have introduced different mechanisms so that we have power. For example, the BESS is one of them. Do we have a foolproof mechanism? No. We have to remember that we are an island when it comes to electricity. We provide our own electricity. So if we were to apply an analogy to the UK, if Wigan loses power, Liverpool will pick up in the grid and it'll carry on running. Here we are an island energy system. So the only way to make sure that energy system can continue to run is to carry on adding layers to try and make sure that it doesn't happen again. Unfortunately, it is electricity, and unfortunately, the unexpected does happen.
Is this potentially a finable offence for the gas supplier?
We have a contract with the gas supplier, so it's not a finable offence, but we will be seeking reassurances that this will not happen again. So we are trying to get to the bottom of exactly what happened, and we will be sitting with them in the next few days to try and get reasons as to why this happened again and how we can prevent it from happening again.
We look forward to an update, and thank you very much for joining us in the studio.